Welcome to the Atheist Witch Podcast, a bi-weekly podcast for witches or any curious minds to learn more about a non-theistic approach to witchcraft. Hello, my wonderfully skeptical and curious listeners, and welcome to the bonus Mabon episode of the Atheist Witch Podcast. I'm your host, and I'm creating these bonus episodes ahead of all 8 Sabbats this year to talk about the history and traditions of each one, and describe how I celebrate them as an atheist witch. I'm recording this bonus series because I think a lot of non-theistic practitioners want to observe and celebrate the turning of the wheel, and might appreciate some ideas for how to do that without invoking a deity or other supernatural entities. Mabon, also known as the Autumn Equinox, typically falls around September 21st to 23rd in the Northern Hemisphere. This year, in 2025, it's on Monday, September 22nd. This date marks the official end of the light half of the year as day and night come back into balance, and the days begin to grow shorter. We're heading into the dark half of the year, which will last until the spring equinox, or Ostara, next March. Now, for my friends in the southern hemisphere, this date is your vernal or spring equinox, your Ostara. So, a blessed Ostara to you as you celebrate the return of light and new beginnings. In case you missed it, I covered Ostara in a bonus episode earlier this year when it rolled around for the Northern Hemisphere. The name Mabon is a modern Wiccan term for this Sabbat, popularized by Aidan Kelly in the 1970s. It's named after Mabon ap Modron, a figure from Welsh mythology who is often associated with the divine sun, youth, and light. He was abducted from his mother, Modron, shortly after his birth and imprisoned, only to be freed later, often symbolizing the retreat and eventual return of the sun. So while Mabon isn't an ancient name for this specific Sabbat, it beautifully encapsulates the themes of balance, harvest, and the approaching darkness. Like all the solar holidays, the autumn equinox has been celebrated by countless cultures around the world and throughout history. Think about ancient harvest festivals where communities would gather to give thanks for the bounty of earth and prepare for the leaner months ahead. Common themes you'll find across these traditions include gratitude, feasting, reflection, and honoring the harvest. Mabon is truly a harvest festival, specifically the second harvest festival following Lughnasadh. It's a time to appreciate the abundance the earth has provided and to begin storing provisions for the winter. As such, common symbols associated with Mabon include corn, apples, grapes, gourds, nuts, and autumn leaves. Colors often include rich reds, oranges, yellows, and browns, all the beautiful colors of autumn. There's a wide spectrum of practices for modern pagans celebrating Mabon, reflecting the diverse nature of paganism itself, of course. Many modern pagans embrace the themes of gratitude, balance, and the bounty of the harvest. You'll see communal feasts with seasonal foods, much like my own practice, focusing on apples, gourds, corn, and other autumn produce. Baking bread is a common and meaningful tradition. Another popular activity for modern pagans at Mabon is creating corn dollies, or other effigies from harvested grains, similar to what we may do at Lammas. This is a beautiful way to honor the spirit of the harvest and connect with ancient agricultural practice. Some may also engage in rituals of thanks, offering a portion of their harvest back to the earth as a sign of gratitude and reciprocity. You'll also find that many modern pagans use Mabon as a time for personal reflection and planning for the darker half of the year. This can involve journaling, meditation, or quiet contemplation on personal growth and what they wish to bring to fruition in the coming months. Cleaning and tidying their homes and altars, similar to a magical spring cleaning, is also a common practice to prepare for the inward focus of winter. The sense of community is strong at Mabon. Gatherings, potlucks, shared rituals are common ways to celebrate together, strengthening bonds and sharing in the collective gratitude for the year's blessings. It's a good time to acknowledge the support systems in our lives, both human and natural. Some modern practitioners in the US or Canada may choose to celebrate Mabon in place of Thanksgiving. How do I, as an atheist witch, celebrate Mabon? Well, as a green witch, getting out into nature and connecting with the season is paramount. This is a beautiful time to go apple picking or visit a local farm and gather seasonal produce. When it comes to food, Mabon is all about the harvest feast. Think Thanksgiving-style meals, but maybe a bit less intense than the full-blown American-style spread. I love incorporating seasonal produce into my cooking, like roasted root vegetables, apples, or hearty stews. A lovely glass of wine, perhaps from a local vineyard, is also perfect for this Sabbath and connects to the grape harvest. For rituals, Mabon is a natural time for reflection and gratitude. I like to take stock of everything that I've harvested in my life throughout the year. Not just physical goods, but also personal growth, lessons learned, and achievements. A simple ritual could involve writing down all the things that you're grateful for and perhaps reading them aloud as part of a quiet meal. You could also create a small altar decoration using natural elements that you've collected, like leaves or acorns, gourds, and use that as a visual reminder of abundance. My Mabon altar decor always features elements of the harvest, so I'll bring in branches or colorful leaves, acorns, maybe dried corn or small pumpkins or gourds. I will have candles in autumn colors, like deep orange or crimson, to honor the waning sunlight and the warmth of the hearth, creating a space that is cozy and evokes abundance and maybe even a slightly melancholic feel of autumn. Speaking of reflection, Mabon is a prime time for practicing divination. With the veil thinning as we approach Samhain and the natural inclination towards introspection in the darkening days, many find that their subconscious is more accessible. Tarot pulls can be insightful for reviewing the year's progress or setting intentions for the upcoming cold months. A 3-card spread could focus on what I've harvested, what I'm releasing, or what I'm planting for the dark half. Given my belief that divination taps into our own subconscious thoughts and pattern recognition, Mabon's energy encourages a good deep dive into those internal workings. It also could be a good time for tasseomancy or tea leaf reading, if that's your thing. And this gentle, calming method is perfect for unwinding and allowing your mind to wander into insightful interpretations. Remember that the magic isn't in the leaves themselves, but in how your mind creates meaning from those random patterns, often revealing things that you already knew deep down. For those who enjoy working with runes, Mabon can be a time to cast for guidance on endings and new beginnings. The Om stave for Muin, or vine, is associated with introspection and the harvest, or Nyetal, reed, for direct action and purpose, could be relevant. The Futhark rune Yera, for harvest, represents cycles and earned successes and could be fitting for this time of year. You can cast your staves or runes for divination or pull out a specific rune for meditation or as a prompt for journaling. Sometimes I'll pull a rune and set it on my altar for the day and then spend some time thinking about how the theme or purpose of that rune cropped up throughout my day. As always, I encourage any and every practitioner to find ways to make Mabon your own. What does harvest mean in the context of your life, and how would you like to celebrate that? Perhaps you can go for a nature walk and collect fallen leaves, or simply spend some quiet time reflecting on your accomplishments so far this year. Even if you can't have a big feast, a simple meal with seasonal ingredients can be a beautiful way to connect with the energy of Mabon. Consider donating food or volunteering for an outdoor cleanup to embody the spirit of abundance and community. That's all for today's bonus episode on Mabon. I wish you all a most abundant and reflective Mabon this year, however you choose to celebrate. As always, if you have questions or comments, please reach out to me on social media or email. You can find me on Instagram at @anatheistwitch or email me at anatheistwitch@gmail.com. Please like, subscribe, or leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. Join me in 2 weeks for our next episode, where we will be exploring baneful magic. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep making your own magic. Thanks for listening.